Ministry God's given us in the local church. Everybody in the band, we're all youth workers back at home. I'm a youth pastor in South Atlanta. So we travel mainly Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and we're home Sunday through Wednesday. We all lead worship in our churches back home because we believe in the local church. Any of you guys go to a pretty rocking church? We're the rocking church people. Okay. Some of you aren't so sure about your church. We have some songs for you later. But, well, I grew up in the church. I was saved when I was about 9 years old. My dad was saved when he was about 32. And sort of grew up in the church, but I never really grew past being saved. Does that make sense, you know? It's like my body grew up, my brain, some would argue, maybe not, but it grew up. But my spirit, my walk with Jesus never really grew past that. And I never really knew what it meant to know that Jesus went home with you after church is over. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And to me, Jesus was more of a book, and he was a place, and he was a building that you went to, and he was an idea that we're all trying to live up to, right? And then when you're in big trouble, he's 911, right? And then that's really kind of what it was for me. And I sort of followed all the guys my age. I mean, what my culture told me was you find a girl, find a boyfriend or girlfriend. So I thought, okay, and I did that. And I built my whole life around this girl, and I learned something that they didn't tell me. When you build your life around a person and the person leaves, you got no life, right? And so I hit the bottom. I hit as deep as I've ever been in my life at about age 20, as close as you can be to not being here anymore. And it was at that moment that I sat in my room with my Bible, and I started flipping around, and I've told you before, I'm dyslexic, I don't read really good, and so I found James. James is 2.5 pages long. I like James, just say it and get it done. And so I started reading the book of James, and for the first time, it was just me and Jesus in my room. First time I started realizing that God's not just calling me to heaven, he's calling me because he wants me to know him. Like an everyday walking around friendship with him. And I've learned since that I've got to guard my time with God. Because that's what my enemy's coming after, isn't he? He wants to separate you from the word, because he wants you to just lean on everybody else's Jesus. Go to church and have the church Jesus, and there's a youth group Jesus, and there's a concert Jesus. But that doesn't go home with you, does it? Only a friendship with God, a relationship with God through Jesus goes home. This song is probably the most important one to me on this record. It talks about what it means to truly know Jesus. And every line in the song is something Paul said about what it means to know him. And it's called To Know You.